Hi, this is to give you an overview of how the data dumps function. We have a few vendors, TMT, Open, and Infogroup. They all require data extractions out of Salesforce. So for example, they need a data dump of the accounts object, of the donations object, campaigns, campaign members, etc. So we have a data dump that's set up that runs every Friday night, and it uses demand tools to do the extractions out of Salesforce. And then it extracts a file to different folders, and the vendors can then retrieve the files. So just high level, Windows Task Scheduler, there's a job called TMT and Open. It runs every Friday night at 11. This job is comprised of about 17 different demand tools jobs. So for example, this runs the accounts data dump, this is the constituents job, campaigns, etc. So this runs at 11 p.m. And just to show you the first one, I'm going to open up demand tools. I'm going to close this. Go to the accounts, export table, and TMT accounts. So Windows Task Scheduler knows to open up this demand tools scenario. It's pulling all accounts out of Salesforce, and it's outputting all of these fields. And then it dumps it to TMT's OneDrive folder, which is right here. So that's high level how it works. Let's go into the task scheduler. Just click on it and click properties on the right side here. So again, all of these 17 jobs start at Friday p.m. And let's go into the first one, which was the accounts. You will not have to do this, but it's good to see how it works. This line pulls the application itself, the demand tools application. And then this first part is pulling the accounts demand tools scenario. The .de XML is the demand tools language, and then it dumps it in the C drive, and it names it accounts.csv. So I'm just going to open up SharePoint to show you where all of these files, all of these scenarios, demand tool scenarios live. Marketing, direct marketing, database management, data dumps down here, and demand tool scenarios. So they all live here. These are all the .de XML files. And then the next one continues, I think, its constituents over here. So as mentioned, this is all automated, and the process begins at Friday night. On Monday morning, when you come into work, check the OneDrive, check TMT's folder as well as Open's folder, and make sure that the files have a recent date. Basically, all of these dates should be from 2 days ago. And if the dates are not from 2 days ago and they're from last week, that tells you that the data dump did not run. For some reason, demand tools failed, it didn't open, I don't know. So what that means, you need to rerun this job here. So just click on it and press the run button on the right side. Now all of these demand tools jobs will run, and this will take hours because these are big exports and it takes a while. You will know that all the jobs are done when go into Open, and when you see all of these files have today's date. The TMT ones are first, and then the Open ones are towards the bottom here. So that's how you know that everything has finished running. But again, you only need to rerun this job if you come in Monday morning and the Open files and the TMT files have last week's date. Now the final step is there's a process that moves these files into TMT's own FTP site. This should be automated, but just to show you how that works, it's called Windscape. And there's this one, TMT all files, and then info group. So let's log on to the TMT all files. This actually is TMT's FTP credentials. So let's log on. And this Windscape will move files that live here, which is SmileTrain's TMT OneDrive site, and it'll copy them into this side, which is the FTP site. So these should always be the same exact. If for some reason they're not, let's say you had to rerun the data dump, then you can press synchronize and it'll start moving the files over. And same thing with info group. Truthfully, I'm not sure which is the right one. So the wonky thing with info group, again, this is info group's OneDrive folder, and this is their own FTP site. So the reason you don't see the few files on this side is because info group has a process on their side that when a new file hits their FTP site, I guess when they retrieve it, they have a process to delete it. So that's why it's blank here. However, you will know that your file has gone to the Infogroup FTP site because you'll receive an email confirmation from their FTP site that tells you the accounts file transferred successfully, the donations file transferred successfully. So that's how you know. Their FTP will be blank over here. But as long as you get those emails on Tuesday morning, you know that all is good.